There it goes. All right. Hey, David. How are you? Hey, Veronica. How you doing? Marie, Eric. Now you got sound. Yeah, that was where the video kept playing. That was bizarre. Hey, Susan. How are you? Luann. How are you? Hey, Lewis. How you doing? Christopher. Christine. Uh, by myself. Chris is in North Carolina until next week. And she's visiting her daughter, son-in-law, and her grandson. So it is just me, home alone, like Macaulay Culkin on Christmas time. John McGinnis, how are you, my friend? So tonight, I wanted to come on and talk about some things, and then I'm going to do the Throwback Thursday thing. I was going through my an old hard drive that I have, and I just saw some old clips from different things that we had done. Not a whole lot, maybe six or seven that I looked at, and I was just like, I should kind of show those. You know, nothing big, nothing spectacular. Some are kind of funny, some are just kind of just old stuff that was laying around. Um, so I'm like, yeah, I'll do a Throwback Thursday thing. I'll run these clips and show people these clips, and some you may have seen. I don't think you've seen a lot of these. We used to do at our events. We used to show evidence reels of the places that we were doing the events at. Before the event, we would do a lecture, and then we would show the evidence we captured when we were there, and then we would do the event. But ever since we started streaming the investigations live, we stopped doing that. So I have like clips laying around from old stuff, and so I'll show a few of those. Like I said, not many. It was just stuff that I'm going through, and I was just like, okay, let me pull that one. Let me pull that one. Hello, Donna. How are you? Missed that, huh? You see, I didn't know if people missed that at all. Hey, Susan. Hey, Francis. How are you? It's something that we used to do a lot, but like I said, ever since we live stream, speaking of live stream, we actually have three separate live stream investigations that we're doing in January. The 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. We're going to be at three different places live streaming. Two of them we can announce where we're going to be. One is an undisclosed location, but looking forward to all three because it'll be our first time investigating all three buildings, which is really cool. I mean, I enjoy doing that, with you guys kind of on board and watching because you get to see what happens when we get to see what happens. But we had two booked. I just booked another one for the 21st. So hopefully the weather holds out. Right now it's kind of pouring rain, and I'm sure it's going to turn over to ice overnight. Which brings me to my second thing, the Creeper Gallery event tomorrow. Starts at 7:30. I'm hoping the weather kind of clears up and it stops raining, and that I have a okay trip. And it takes me about an hour and 15 minutes to get there. So I'm hoping the weather holds out, and I'm hoping the roads are good so that I can get there and help Donna set everything up, and we have a good event. Hey, April, how are you? Chris is not going to be there, of course, but Kenny, Tanya, and myself, we will be there tomorrow. So it should be fun. Like I said, tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Busy day. We have a lot going on. We have been in discussions. I've been talking about this a lot with production people. It goes and then it stops for a while, and then it goes and it stops for a while. And from what I hear, that's kind of normal for any kind of thing that you do like this when it involves kind of TV stuff. Um, so, it's been like that for the last year or two where we've been talking about meeting with people and never actually meeting with people. Like we go back and forth through a representative, and there's been like interest here and interest there. But we actually had our first Zoom meeting last Wednesday with the actual production uh, people, and it went well. And there's a follow up meeting to that tomorrow that I'm not involved in, that none of us are involved in. And then 3:30 we have a meeting with another production company with the people that are involved in the show again. So, you know, I have to do what I got to do during the day, get back here by 3:30, change my clothes, all that fun stuff. Um, have this meeting. Depending on how long this meeting takes, I have to leave right after that meeting and go to the Creeper Gallery to help Donna set up for the event. So it's going to be like boom, 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 boom. Tomorrow's going to be just a complete runaround day, and I was hoping the weather would be nicer for that, but we'll see what happens. But um, none of this means anything unless one of these production companies decide to pick up the ball and move it forward a little bit, and that's what we've kind of been talking about. The next step, we don't know what the next step is. We know we're meeting with all these different companies, and they represent networks, and whatever happens, happens. We're hoping for the best, hoping into next year we'll be doing something. We've been trying a long time. I talk to John Zaffis all the time about this, about, the waiting. I got an email from another production company asking me if I wanted to interview for a different show. And I so bad wanted to say yes. But the people that we're working with now are awesome, awesome people. The cast that we have is awesome. These people have really done a lot to put us in front of a lot of different people. And these are the people that I'm loyal to. These are the people that I'm sticking with. And these are the people that we're going to try our best. And I trust these people a lot. They're good people, good friends. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, saying no to that other interview was like, ugh, dang it. And I talked to John Zavos about that too. And he was just like, be loyal to the people that got you there and that have backed us. And he was 100% right. This was meant to be with these people, with the things that are going on. And if it works out, great. We'll all be happy. But if it doesn't, I can't thank these people enough for doing everything they've done for us. It's about loyalty, man. When it comes to your friends, when it comes to the people you associate with, there's people that I've met 6 months ago that have done more for me than people that I've known for 10 years, and those are the people that I kind of like, maybe that was meant to be. You meet people for a reason and you go with that. But that's what's going on. It's a lot going on right before the holidays and going into the holidays. So this is what we've been working on, just getting stuff done, getting through the rest of the year. This is our very last event for 2023. Thank God. 2022. My God, I'm already jumping ahead. 2020. Hey, Nicole, long time no see. How you been? We've done a lot of events this year, a lot. And next year, I've opened up the calendar, and I'm doing the every other weekend thing again, and I'm trying to kind of like figure out what the happy medium is between doing a lot of events and doing enough events. And if this thing were to work out, that would throw everything up in the air. But there's a lot of places that we want to do events for, and that we've worked with through the years, and new places coming on. So it's just like trying to figure out how best to manage all that, along with doing 2 psychic fairs. They want 2. They want one in the spring, one in the fall, and the expo in November. So it's like, yeesh, that's a lot. And again, if this thing takes off, all that stuff is going to kind of go to the wayside. So it's a lot, but it's good. It's good to be busy. It's good to be in demand, and it's good that people want us to work with them. And to, I don't want to mention the person's name because this is is an undisclosed location, but that's how the January 21st investigation came on, the live investigation. This is a person, I won't mention her name, who knows us, who follows us, has come to a thing or two that we've done, and they are associated, I don't want to say too much, with a building that they claim is very, very haunted. And like I said, it can't be known, it can't be out there, but this person's like, come in and check out this building. You're gonna, you know, hopefully you can find stuff because they've been affiliated with this building a while. There's stories about the building. They've experienced stuff there. So come on in. And I said, well, do you want us to just do it with us or can we stream it? He said, you can stream it, but you can't advertise where it is. So I'll be going there next week with Chris to tour the whole entire building and hear all the stories and, find out where all the hot spots are. But according to this person, it's a pretty big building, and I can't wait between that and the college, because the college, the administrative building is huge. I can't wait to get into these places and just find out what's there in real time. It's so different when it's a new building or a place you haven't been before. The places we've done, I've been there. I kind of know what to expect, although I do get a surprise every now and then. But a new place where you're walking in, it's like fresh snow, man. It's just like, no footprints on it or anything. You just go in there and whatever happens, boom, happens. Hey, Dana, happy birthday to you again. I know I wished you a happy birthday another day, and then it was finally your real birthday. So happy birthday. Everybody, wish Dana a happy birthday. I'd appreciate it. He's online right now. He's a person who's been following us for a while. So wish him a happy birthday in the comments. So let's do the, but let me go back real quick before I do the throwback stuff. Creeper Gallery that I just did. When was that? Tuesday. I did another part after I ended the live stream. Donna's doing the auction. We're doing the auction, I should say, December 23rd. Yeah, 2 days before Christmas. And there was one other object that I couldn't find the video for. I couldn't find the clips for. So her and I were going back and forth, and it was this carved wooden doll, I guess, sitting in a rocking chair. And there's two levers, one on either side. We actually did this during an event. And when you pull the one lever, the old woman's head nods forward, and she's holding a baby. When you pull the other lever, she brings the baby up like she's kissing it. So it's kind of like this when you pull both levers. So Donna had mentioned to that, and I was already into the live stream. And then I said to her, I'll investigate that for a little while after I'm done. So I finished. I put the camera on record. I sat there for 45 minutes, almost an hour, with this doll, and it took a while for me to get anything from it. And I was just like, come on, is there anything? And I'm giving up hope. And I'm like, and literally I was going to stop at like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, but stuff started happening a little bit here and there. And then I was able to get some kind of interaction. It wasn't a whole lot, but there was some interaction there. So I wound up leaving there. I don't even know, 10:30 maybe. Yeah, around 10:30. I finally wound up leaving there, so then I had to, so that's on YouTube, by the way. She wanted to see the actual investigation, so I put it up on YouTube. So it's pretty much the whole thing. So you're going to see a lot of stuff that's not going on. And then I think I got an EVP, and then I got some stuff here and there, spirit box and some equipment stuff. So, you might want to go check that out on YouTube. It's the, what did she say it was? The 19th century haunted mechanical doll. That's what she called it. So that'll be part of the auction. So without further ado, I'll get into the Throwback Thursday stuff. Having some issues with my eye again. Not like the perfect time. It's been a while, but my eye's starting to act up. When I rewatched the live at 9 minutes, 35 seconds, there is a voice. If you haven't watched it, I haven't watched the whole thing again. No, I only go back and watch when I have to edit things for the auctions that she does. Otherwise, I don't rewatch anything. Um, and when I do that, I do find stuff that I missed during the actual live investigation. So even when we were doing the last auction, I was told that there were voices coming through as we're doing the auction, and either Chris or I were handling the object. I heard somebody was whispering during the auction, the live auction, and they're like, "Go back and watch that." I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm there. For me to then go back is another 45 minutes, 2 hours of me being there again. That's the beauty of TV. John Zaffis and I were just talking today. He called me and we're talking about some other stuff. And he's like, the cool thing about TV is that, you know, you go to the airport to film when you're on location and, the production people, check you in. You just have to sit there and they tell you when it's time to get on the plane and everything's arranged and the rent a car set up and all that. And I'm like, yeah. Oh man, I can get used to that, but we'll see. So let me go here and I want to show you first. This is a throwback show. So this was our very first taste of working with production people many moons ago. Now, I didn't even realize how far back the video stuff of New Jersey Paranormal went back until I was, again, looking at all these old clips. And, there was a different, we started out, New Jersey Paranormal wasn't New Jersey Paranormal initially. When we first started out, it was me, my brother, my daughter was actually part of it, and her boyfriend at the time was kind of there and not there. And this is before even John joined the group. So that was the initial incarnation of the paranormal stuff. And we decided to name ourselves the Ruggiero Paranormal, New Jersey Ruggiero Paranormal Group or something like that. It was this long name. And again, I have a video of the very first event we ever did. It was a place in Rahway that I lived down the street from, the Merchants and Drovers Tavern. And I have the whole entire video and I watched it again. And again, I was much younger and believe it or not, I didn't talk as much as I do now. And my role wasn't the same as it is now. And, but again, this was the name of that group. And then we wanted to branch out and get a new member or two into the group. And, I didn't think that people were going to join a group that was named after my last name, my brother's last name. So it was kind of like Van Halen type of thing. Like no one's going to join a group that has our last name. So I came up with the name New Jersey Paranormal. I Googled it and I was really surprised that there wasn't, hey Steve, that there wasn't a group that called themselves New Jersey Paranormal. There was this group, this New Jersey Paranormal this, or New Jersey Paranormal Team, New Jersey Paranormal North Jersey, South Jersey, this, that, all these things, but never just New Jersey Paranormal. There wasn't any group named that. So I came up with the name, I came up with the colors and the old logo that we still use. And we went looking for members and we got this guy, John, who we got along with great. And John was so unique. John was from Brooklyn. He had such a unique accent that I never heard before. And John fit right in. And, things happen. The group ended. That group ended. And, Tanya came on before it ended. So did Chris. And, things happen. Tanya and me and Chris are still together. Kenny came on board later on, but that's how it all started. But we were, during the early days of New Jersey Paranormal, these guys, good guys, nice guys, production guys, they had attended an event and they're watching us set up for their event. They're watching the back and forth between my brother and I, and they're kind of like, they watched the event, they had a good time in the event, and afterwards they said, you know, you guys want to meet to discuss doing a show? And we were like, yeah, sure, sounds good. So we met with them at a Dunkin' Donuts, and they're like, we want to do a show, based around you two, and the way you guys interact. We could see that you guys were kind of arguing a little, during this particular event, and they basically wanted to do more of a reality show, and they actually asked my brother and I to fake fight during like every episode, and we were like, no, we're not doing that. We're like, if you watch us long enough, you'll get those moments, but we're not going to fake anything, so they created this sizzle reel that was just awful, that I will never show a living soul as long as I live. Few of my friends have seen it, but this was the quick intro to the sizzle reel that they did. And again, it was really, really quick, black and white. Is this it here? It's real quick. It's 17 seconds, but it was like a little buzz thing that they did. So I'll show you that real quick. Did you hear that?
Yes.
So could you please just go ahead and walk? Oh, there we go.
Step away from the light.
Oh my God.
What?
That's it. No, there was a sizzle that followed that showed everybody, and who they were and what their roles were and everything. But like, that was the initial kind of, and it was so funny because we looked at that. We're like, Tanya, you could see for more than you see anybody. You just see the backs of everybody else. And they dubbed in that, oh my God, like that wasn't happening at that time. We were in the attic of the attic of the Board of Ed building. And that wasn't that, oh my God, none of us said that. They kind of dubbed it in. And again, this was our first foray into TV world, and it didn't work out for a number of reasons. No, the sizzle reel I wouldn't show. You would have to pay good money to see that sizzle reel because it is locked in the vault, and only maybe a handful of people have seen that sizzle reel. It is downright embarrassing. I all I could tell you, I'll give you a hint of how embarrassing it was. The song "Who Let the Dogs Out" is in the sizzle reel. I don't have to say anything more than that. So it was cringeworthy is the word that I would use. So we've had other opportunities with other production people. Some ideas were good. Some ideas weren't so good. Some ideas were stolen, believe it or not, and taken by other shows, but we won't talk about that either. But that's again, I just wanted to show you that first little bit there. Okay, let me show you a clip. You may or may not have seen this before. If you have headphones, I recommend you put them on because this is a clip of just an empty room and some breathing. Now, we've shown this clip at like some library lectures that we've done and other things that we've done. I don't know if I've ever shown it to you guys, but you want to turn the volume all the way up for this if you don't have headphones and you want to just listen. It's more towards the end of the clip, but you're going to hear that this actually takes place in a haunted church that we investigated in South Jersey. Judy K recommended we go into this church. I think I told this story before, where the room where they keep the donations, Judy felt like there was a dark presence there that came in through the cemetery, and she didn't like going in that back room. So we set up cameras everywhere back then, no live streaming. We would videotape everything. And the altar, you could see the altar around the corner. I have my camera set up. The camera several times, I left it there and I just would go up and change the battery. Several times during the course of the night, my camera would be in a different position than I left it in. It would be moved a little to the left, a little to the right. And this one particular video, listen to this creepy breathing that I captured up in this one room. All right, so here we go. So I don't have my headphones on, but I have heard the clip many, many times. I'll play it again if you didn't hear it. Maybe you can put it up to your ear. But it starts off with just a faint and then at the end it just lingers where it goes like someone was like you know, the last breath type of thing where it's like gasping type of thing. And again, that's a really good clip with headphones on. You hear that breathing and it's so creepy, and it is right into the microphone. You're right about that. The camera's here, it had to be in a microphone for it to capture, because that mic doesn't have like a digital recorder mic. So I told you about the basement. We had a camera running in the basement shooting down towards that room where the where Judy Kay told us about. This is a real light anomaly / orb. Dead of winter. There are no bugs, no lightning bugs, whatever you call those bugs, fireflies, whatever I call them, lightning bugs. This was not a bug. This thing comes out of that room and it's illuminating. This is a true anomaly. This isn't, like I said, some translucent thing going by real quick. And I hope this is the right clip, because there's 2 clips that it could be. This is going to be really quick. I'll play it twice. So this is the first shot.
Oh, yeah. The neighbor? Yeah, he told us some story.
One more time in case you missed it, because it's only a 3-second clip. Ready?
Oh, yeah. The neighbor? Yeah, he told us some story.
One more time.
Oh, yeah. The neighbor? Yeah, he told us some story.
Now, whenever someone asks me about orbs or anomalies, that is the clip that I show everyone, because dead of winter, that anomaly came out of that room where the reports were that there was somebody in there. That thing, if you look at it on a big screen, it is the wall. As it's getting close, it lights up the walls. You could see the light cast on the walls. I have another video of that same anomaly that I'm not going to show you now, on another camera that we had in the hallway that leads up to that room where you heard the breathing. That other camera captures that same anomaly going right up the stairs towards that room. It went down the hall, up the stairs. Really, really creepy. And that's what I talk about when people show me videos of orbs and anomalies. And I am such a harsh critic of that, because that is 100% a light anomaly. 100%. Like I said, dead of winter. If it was summertime, people could refute it and say, oh, was it a lightning bug? Was it whatever? No. That camera was running all night long, and that was probably 2-3 hours in that thing came out of that room and went right down the hallway. That's an anomaly for sure. So that's one I wanted to show you guys. Here's one. This is an oldie, but a goodie. Another one that you might have to put your headphones on for, because it's very faint and it happens twice. This goes way back to my younger days. We were in, which is probably the most haunted building in Woodbridge. The Barron Art Center is up there. The Board of Ed building is the most haunted. For those of you who don't know, there was a train crash in Woodbridge. I believe it was 1948. I could be wrong. Somewhere around there. At the time, it was the 3rd worst train crash in U.S. history. What had happened was the train was coming from Manhattan, They were doing repairs on a certain bridge, and they had a temporary, bridge set up there, and they told all the, engineers to go, I think it was 10 miles an hour, slow it down, go 10 miles an hour over that bridge. On this particular day, this particular engineer didn't get the memo. Nobody told them. He crossed that thing going too fast, went off the tracks, slid down the embankment, turned over a few times. I believe it killed, I don't want to get this wrong, but it was either 88 injured or 88 killed. But what they did was go on YouTube, type in Woodbridge train crash. There's actual black and white footage of the train crash. And they used the existing buildings as triages. And one of the buildings was the old emergency building, which has been torn down, and the Board of Ed. They stacked bodies in the Board of Ed basement. And from what I hear, they got paper from like the bakery and would lay that down on the floor and put the bodies on top of them. That building is very, very, very haunted. If you can remember, go on YouTube, look up New Jersey Paranormal, Woodbridge Board of Ed. It's probably the second cable access show we ever did where we're interviewing people that work there and then we investigate it. Again, this goes back, but good show. You can hear all the claims from people. But this building in particular, I'm on the second floor. Everybody else is kind of spread out. I go back into this room to get a couple of K2 meters and to get my M&Ms because I was hungry. And you'll see I walk into the room. The camera's in the back of the room filming me walk in. As I grab the M&Ms and I start chewing them, you hear like a screech. It's hard for me to imitate. It's like, ew, like that. Like really light at first. It's like, ew, really quick. And then I didn't hear it at the time. I turn around and I walk. You have to walk through another room to go leave. And as I walk through the other room, you hear the screech louder. And this time, the screech was right in my ear. And I froze. I froze because I really thought, again, this was early on in NJP days, I really thought that the thing that I've seen and I've heard about in every movie with the red eyes and the claws was behind me. This thing screeched so loud. And you don't hear it as loud as I heard it because it's away from the camera in another room. But I'll show it to you and then I'll play it again so you can hear it. I swear to God. What happened? Did you see somebody? Now, you see the way I walk back into the room. I'll play it again and I'll tell you where to kind of listen. It's not a voice, it's a screech. It literally is, I grab the M&Ms, I put them in my mouth, and that's the first low screech. Then as I enter that other room and I'm kind of turning, you hear it again. Ew! And I mean, you got to listen closely, but you see how I enter the room. When I came back, I was looking for the thing that screamed in my ear to see if it was hiding in that room. So I'll play it again and listen real close. The first one's faint, but the second one's louder as I enter that back room. So listen back there for sure. All right, here we go. We're right there. swear to God. What happened? Did you see somebody? Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's the way it sounds. So let me tell you another thing about the Board of Ed building, besides the shadow figures and everything else that we've seen in that building. One of the claims is that for the men, when they go into the men's room, if they're staying working late at night, they'll go into the men's room, and while they're at the urinal, there's one stall next to it, and it's not a sensor, it's one of these deals where you have to, and one of the claims is people that were working there late that were using the urinal, the toilet would flush by itself, and then the stall door, they would hear it move a little bit. So when we investigate that building, high EMF building with the lights on and everything, all the breakers, we kill everything so that there's no power whatsoever in that building. So we're in the dark the entire time till we turn so I had to go to the bathroom. So I go into that men's room, and I'm at the urinal, and I'm doing my business, and I'm like, no, don't you dare. Don't you dare. And I'm doing my business, and and again, I don't know if it's the same for everyone. I don't want to be sexist here, but in my experience, it's harder for men to just cut stream and stop. You just can't do it. So I had to continue, and I'm looking over, and I heard the stall move a little bit, and I'm thinking, I'm going to run out of here with my business out and run back into that hallway because something's coming out of that stall. But I didn't. I kept, and again, it from the screech to that happening, I was all in on that building being very, very haunted. We had been in that building. They don't let us in there anymore because they have all the cameras and monitors for all the school district, and they don't want anybody. It's very secure now. It's all protocols and stuff. So they don't let us in that building anymore. But at the time, we were in there every year, or sometimes twice a year. That building is so haunted. I heard rumor that they were going to move the Board of Ed to a newer, modern building. And I kept saying to the mayor, you do that. Give me that building for a year or two or three. I'll have people in here all the time investigating this place because it's uber haunted, So that was another clip. Let me see if I can find another one. Okay, here's probably one of the first ones where Kenny came into the fold. Tanya had been with us for a little while. Chris and I hit it off with Tanya like second number one. I love investigating with Tanya from the minute I met her. We always had fun together, and we kind of have the same type of technique as far as investigating. And then, Kenny came on board, and Kenny was into it. Kenny was into all the weird New Jersey stuff, and, he believed in it. And we're in the Board of Ed, and all this stuff is happening. And Tanya's doing an EVP session, and Kenny's standing by himself, and he just starts getting a reaction. So I'll show you that clip.
Are you the one that yelled in John's ear? Holy shit.
Right behind fucking Kenny, too. Are you fucking
Oh
kidding
God.
me? Look at that.
Catch it on film, Kenny. Catch it on film.
I got the chills.
Turn around and catch it on film.
Oh, what him?
Kenny was frozen. There it goes.
Is that you?
It won't record. I'm dead.
Two orbs just flew right by Kenny, too. Whoop, there it goes. Are you freaking kidding me?
I got nothing. Look.
I got you. Are you by Ken? Oh my God, you're by Kenny. That's Kenny there. You want to say hello to him?
You want a hug?
Oh my God, Kenny, that's right near you, man.
You like that? You like that it plays music?
Oh man, it's like pins and needles.
Kenny asked if you wanted a hug. Do you want a hug?
You ever hug a fat guy?
Oh my god.
Are you a female? Okay.
Do you like Kenny?
Of course.
That's right, make them all go off. And the K2 is going off the same time on the desk. Yeah.
So you like Kenny. Kenny's someone that you can relate to? Does he look familiar to you, like somebody you know?
Well, I wish I had this one.
Do you think he... Okay. Do you think he's handsome? I think it's just having fun with that. I really do. I think it's just having fun with that box. Can you step away from it?
Oh no, it's right by him, whatever it is. So in that clip alone, you have 3 anomalies that go by Kenny. Kenny had interaction from that point on. It did seem like something was following him, which is why Tanya asked that. And again, you have to test that Kenny wasn't close enough to make that thing go off all the time. So we actually asked Kenny, walk around that thing and prove that it's not you making that go off. So here's the follow-up clip to that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, like, look, like the camera won't trigger it. Like me walking by.
Yeah. And it killed your camera, didn't it?
Seemed to
Yeah,
really
it's-
like Kenny.
It's on now, but the lights are dead.
It seemed to really like Kenny.
Let Kenny know that you're still there. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Likes Kenny.
So there again, yeah, I know, John. Before we streamed investigations, we all did have quite a potty mouth. We had to reel it in when we knew that we were streaming. So, but back then we did curse quite a lot. I was one of the number 1 offenders. This was at the Board of Ed in Woodbridge, New Jersey, but they don't let you in anymore. But again, you have to test, is Kenny standing too close to the proximity sensor? Is that what's making it go off? I knew it wasn't, because you literally have to be like right here by the antenna. But we're like, let's test it for intelligence. That's what we tell everybody else to do. Kenny walked all the way around it, put his camera around the top of it, walked away from it, and then what did we ask? Could you do that again to show Kenny? There it went. So again, this is testing to see if somebody's really watching and figuring out how to use these things and to use them intelligently. That's the cool part of that. And then go back, like I said, go back and watch, if you watch this video again, 3 anomalies move in unison and go right by him, right before all that starts happening, which is really, really cool. So here's the clip that we've kind of like, we've shown people for years. We were just there last week, the Wyckoff Garrettson house. Another case of, just like with some haunted objects, we're not given a whole lot of information, but we go in and do our diligence just to see who's there. And I do this in a lot of places that we go to, the college being one of them, when we were introducing ourselves to those people, and we did the events with the Girl Scouts. People get fixated on, and we talked about this before, the story. If someone, God forbid, was murdered at a location, yes, they could potentially still be there. Their spirit could be there if you're trying to interact with them and you're walking around trying to communicate with them. But stopping there and assuming that that is the only spirit that occupies that space, I don't think you're doing your diligence if you kind of leave it at that. I think you should open it up to whoever is there, you know, and we do that in the buildings that we go in as well. And this is a case of that. We went into the Wyckoff, you know, the place had been there forever. It's a very old building. Lots of people worked in that land, lived in that home. We didn't have any particular names of people that died there or anything that happened there. We had a list of servants that they had. Some of the people that lived there, fun story about the Wyckoff Garrison is the guy follows us and he comments every time I post that we were there. His name is Windsor Wyckoff, and he is a descendant of the families that occupied that area in Somerset or Somerville. I get those two mixed up. And he came with his daughter to an event in that building, and he had activity that was off the charts. And you know who it was? It wasn't any of his descendants. It was servants that had worked there and felt like they were treated badly, and they were reacting in a negative way to him everywhere in that building. Which again, for me as a researcher and someone who does this and who had been in that building many times and never got to see that, boom, he was a walking, talking, living, breathing trigger object that those spirits felt good about, boom, coming out and saying, we're going to let you know that you shouldn't be here and we don't like your family being here after the way we were treated. Really, really, really cool. So we're in this one particular room to this day. I call the murder room for this reason, because of this clip. We had since done an investigation there where we went in alone each time, and I got really good EVPs there where someone said they were there with me and then said that they were evil or something. Same room. And when we just did the event last time, I mapped 2 figures in that room every time. And I love that room, and I love going in there and investigating that room. But this is where it all began. We didn't know who we were talking to. We didn't know how they related to the building at all. But this was a very, you want to talk about Class A EVP? This is the definition of Class A.
Is there somebody here in this room with us?
Oh, what was that? What was that?
That was
Is there somebody here in this room with us?
That was a voice.
what did it say?
I don't know what it said.
I mean, it sounded like murder to me.
It really?
Is there somebody here in this room with us?
Oh my God! It said murder.
And that video is famous in our circle because Tanya kind of put the camera way up there on Chris because she was trying to hear the EVP, and it's right here on Chris. And we call that the Blair Witch video because it's like that video where in the movie she's filming herself and like the snot stripping down her nose and her eyes are all teary. That was like so up in Chris's eyes and nose that we refer to that video as the Blair Witch video whenever we see it or we play it, because, you know, it's got that feel to it. But that person that day in that room said murder. Don't know why, don't know who it was. We just know a man was saying that out loud for whatever reason. And then I got those 2 EVPs when I went back in there, when I asked if I was the only one in there or someone else was there with me, and a man said, I am. And then I asked him something about himself, and he said, I'm evil. And it was like, who the hell are you? And where the hell did you come from? Now, I'll tell you a story about the Wyckoffs, too. They owned a lot of land, like many farmers did back in those days. Acres upon acres upon acres. On their property, which is down the road from the house, was their burial ground. And you could tell at the time it was a beautiful spot with trees around it, and the graves run from kind of platform low ground to like a little small hilltop. And again, at the time, it must have been a beautiful area where the family would, you know, honor their dead. And now, if you go to that area, it's off the road. You got to walk down a trail. The gravestones are cracked in half. The trees have overtaken the headstones. It's just, you look at that and you just say, man, what a shame. And maybe that is why some of them are restless and a little pissed off too, because, you know, the house has been taken care of somewhat, and yet the site of their graves you know. So it's one of those, a mixed bag of energy there. There are the people that I think that may have lived there at one time that interact, along with the servants who come through it, you know, especially when one of the descendants are there. I would love to have him come there again if we ever do another live, and see if we can get that kind of reaction again. But I would also be concerned. I was concerned during that night for him and his daughter, because the activity was ratcheting, and they were saying things that weren't very nice. And I just, again, in my head, I was going, thank God this event is winding down here, because everywhere he went, it kind of, you know, so probably was a good idea that it didn't continue. Hey, Rosa, how are you? So the last clip I'm going to show you, you guys know Kelly, good friend of ours. Kelly is a person who we've known for many years now, who's purchased a lot of things from Donna and from the Creeper Gallery. She's got her own thing going on there where she has a room full of stuff. And Kelly's doing her own stuff now on TikTok and I'm not sure about Instagram, but TikTok, she's doing her own thing where she features a couple of different objects. So you might want to check that out. But we were invited into her home, and this is a while after, you know, we had investigated all these objects over years. And the one particular object that, again, I urge you to go on to our YouTube, go on the Cable Access show, watch the show we do about the cape, the cursed cape. This cape, long story short, belonged to a woman that drowned her 2 children because she felt like they were getting more attention from the husband than she was getting. She wasn't convicted of it. Supposedly, according to a medium, I looked like the husband. So when we investigated the cape at first, I felt like something cold was wrapped around my entire body that followed me throughout the building. On the obelisk, as we're getting all the REM pods going off, a voice said, "Johnny." And I felt afraid of this object, like it was trying to attach to me. I couldn't lose that cold. It was like hypothermia. I couldn't get rid of it until I got away in the car and far away from it. So we had Kelly on the Cable Access show. She brought the cape. I stayed away from the cape. I wouldn't go near it. When investigating her home and all of these objects, the cape, of course, came into the conversation and the picture, and me handling the cape to see what happened. And I did. And this is what happened. So let me show you that clip. And this is kind of the aftermath of what I felt.
It's bad, John. It's bad. It's bad. You just got a scratch right there, too. Look.
It burns a lot.
Wait, sorry, Kelly.
Shit.
Wait, let me.
It burns a lot.
There you go.
Oh, my
all the way across.
God.
Especially
Johnny.
like the middle burns really bad.
You can actually see like the fingers on the other side.
Oh, it burns.
It's horrible.
Hold on.
Yeah, look at that.
That burns.
The camera won't pick it up, but her phone picks it up perfectly.
Wait, can you hold this right here? Right here. I just put that in my mouth. So. Wait, no, too much.
Could you get a
right
picture?
There.
I can't see it, obviously.
It looks like 2 fat fingers on your back of your neck.
Oh, man, it
There's
Three.
more on
burns.
this side.
To the left, it burns really, really bad. My left, it burns really bad.
Let me see this.
On this side. I mean, it really
Oh,
burns.
shit. Wait, hold this, Kenny.
Oh, there we go.
Or Kelly. I put this in my mouth.
It
so I don't want
really,
you to-
really burns.
No, that's too much.
You tell me where.
Right there.
It burns right here,
Hold on.
Oh, my God.
and
Stay
then
still,
all the
John.
way here.
Stay still.
Just got to move that hair out of the way.
you
Yeah,
can
move
see
this hair.
At least 3 fingers on this side.
Oh, snaps.
God, it's like something tried to...
So that was as if someone took both sides of their nails and dug them in here into my neck and was like trying to choke me or something. And as I'm sitting there holding the cape, if you go back and watch that investigation, I don't remember how many years ago that was, but I'm sitting there holding a cape and I kept saying to them, I feel something. My neck is heating up. That's what a scratch feels like when you get a scratch. You don't feel the scratch. You feel the sting of the scratch. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain. You don't feel the feeling. You feel just it feels like sunburn. That's or freezer burn. That's how I always describe it. You just feel the aftermath. And as I'm holding the cape, I kept saying to them, "Look, I feel stinging. I feel stinging on my neck. I'm not going to pick up my hands." Now they're filming me the whole time, so you can see I don't scratch myself. I'm holding the cape. I said, before I put this cape down or I make any motions, I want somebody to come over here with a flashlight. I always do that when I feel like I'm scratched. I want someone to come over here with a flashlight and tell me if you see anything. And that's what you see. That part right there is what they saw. And I couldn't see until they showed me the video. And I was just like, she is very, very aggressive. And Kelly even posted on her site on TikTok that it took her, I think, a year to coexist with that spirit. And that when she first got the cape and brought it home, she saw the woman. She woke up from her sound sleep and saw the woman over her, and she tried to strangle her. She felt it. And I told Kelly, I'm like, that one there is very aggressive and very unstable. And I actually offered, as a crazy person that I am, and Chris, of course, won't let me do it. I wanted to shoot. I wouldn't do it live, although I don't know, do it at the time. I wouldn't have because we were videotaping everything, but I would consider doing a live stream. I was actually going to bring the cape to a hotel and spend the night with the cape and run a camera the whole entire night to see what I captured, what happened to me, and if she tried to attack me in my sleep like she did with Kelly. I was willing to do it. I'm still willing to do it. But Chris is like, no, 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 no. But I think that would be very intriguing. And out of morbid curiosity, yeah, I agree, Denise. I think that would be very, very interesting to see if I'm alone the entire night, if she would really come after me. I would really am interested to see if that's possible. You know, I'm crazy when it comes to that stuff, but it's the ABCs and me. Anyway, it's almost an hour. I appreciate you watching. I hope you were a little bit entertained by this Throwback Thursday episode or whatever you want to call this. I'm going through all these. There's more. I'll go through them and I'll find some more. Maybe we'll do another Throwback Thursday next week. But I enjoyed seeing these clips again. And no, John McGinnis, that teaser, that sizzle will never be seen by anyone ever. I will never show it because it's I cringe when I watch it. I could just imagine what everybody else would do. But we'll go live before the Creeper event tomorrow just to show you the people that are there, celebrate the holidays with you guys and with them, maybe a little before, a little bit after. But I'll show you guys what's going on there tomorrow. Like I said, Kenny will be there, Tanya will be there, I'll be there. 12 other people will be there. Don will be there, and it should be a good time. So see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.